Archaeology is the study of past cultures by investigating the material culture and the material remains such as stone tools, living foundations, houses, fire features, basically any material culture or trash that we leave behind can be used by archaeologists to study how those people lived, what life was like, who they interacted with.
There's several topics in archaeology that are applicable and important for students to understand in the middle school. Obviously, protection of the archaeological record, preventing looting and, going around stomping and kicking the crap out of stuff when they're walking around. Also, to understand research development, knowing how people do archaeology, how do they understand these complex issues about culture and exchange and subsistence and that type of thing, as well as how does it apply to, how does archaeology link current and present peoples, such as the students themselves, to people of the past. I think those are kind of three really important issues that the archaeology lends itself and can help middle school students.
It was a really fascinating idea to me to have artifacts that you could explore and learn from, and also a little bit of Indiana Jones and his adventure made me want to learn about archaeology.
Archaeology is my major because you get to understand different cultures and think about things in a multicultural way. Also, you get to study people from the past, and you obviously can't ask them questions, so you have to use different ways to figure out what they're doing or how they're behaving.
So I've always been interested in a lot of different subjects, like history, geography, even like political science. And that interest, I guess, spans decades, centuries, and even millennia. So one of my primary reasons for getting into anthropology, and then specifically archaeology, is to be able to study these different interactions, these different subjects between societies, between peoples, and kind of look at them on a temporal scale, just to figure out how were things in the past, why did things occur, and how have those things happened, or how have those things influenced where we are today? And then even turn the question on the other side, what are we doing today as a society? What are we doing today as different societies? How will that impact the future? And what will our archaeological record look like 2,000 years from now?
My favorite historical site would have to be Chaco Canyon in New Mexico, because it's just really cool and big and has connections with the solstices, and I just always thought that would be amazing to go and see and explore.
If I could go anywhere to do archaeology, I'd probably go to Korea, South Korea to be more specific. Mostly because my mom's from Korea and I don't really know too much about that side of my heritage. So it'd be really interesting to go there and learn more about that side of my culture and, dig a little bit into the past and, learn more. Otherwise, I'd probably stay in North America. There's so much archaeology here that is just, as much as you could do anywhere else in the world. And we have it right here in our backyards.
If I could go anywhere in the world to do archaeology, I actually would just stay right here in North America. A lot of people run off to other continents and kind of helicopter into these big temple sites, and it's really fun and it makes for a good TV show. But North American archaeology is just completely fascinating to me on a lot of different levels in ways that archaeology in other parts of the world aren't. So I've kind of fostered an appreciation for the archaeology right here and in North America, and specifically the North American West.
I guess in terms of learning about archaeology, I kind of actually learned it from a pretty young age. I've been traveling a lot since I was little, and I've been to a lot of different sites, and I've always been interested in history and culture. And it also helped that my dad also studied archaeology, so that really influenced me. So I guess I was introduced to the field by him.
Archaeology is really important to learn at a lot of different levels, and my personal graduate project is also involved with reaching children of a different age group, but archaeology is applicable to many different areas, especially in middle school, where you can learn about different jobs and different ways of understanding resources, understanding research, and applying it to your other subjects within your school's curriculum. And if you want to expand and really intrigue kids, especially in middle school where it takes a lot of time and effort to really get prepubescent and people going through puberty to really get involved and interested into being at school, archaeology is a great way to really capture and excite students at many, many different levels.
Archaeology is important today, especially in North America, is because a lot of the people that are native to North America have no written history, and so archaeology really becomes the history of their culture. So by collecting all these material remains and seeing how they change through time and across space, we can actually start to write the history of North America in a way that we weren't capable of doing before modern archaeology came about. That's really the importance I see to it today. Yeah.
The best way to pursue your interest in archaeology is definitely get involved in any way you can. There's a lot of great organizations out there that cater to people who are not professional archaeologists, such as the Colorado Archaeology Society, the Crow Canyon Institute down in southwestern Colorado, and a bunch of other nonprofit organizations do a lot with younger people to get them involved in archaeology. Passport and Time program through the Forest Service is another great way to get involved, and also contact some local archaeologists. You can look that up on the internet and give them a call. I know anybody would be more than happy to talk to you about how you can best foster your interest in archaeology.